Hello guys, we have the box office this week, and I'm going to update to see if there's any other thing new. Yeah, there was Dog, and now we don't really have any. There was nothing new besides there was like 4 new releases. So we'll be going over all of them, and of course the new other releases. There was no movies for release in the next 2 weeks. Okay, the next big movie I think is the Watch. Oh, the Watch is coming out next week, but Morbius is coming out in 2 weeks, and Sonic's coming out in 3 weeks. So, and again, the Batman, is doing pretty well because there's no real competition for a movie like the Batman. The Batman has made $600 million basically worldwide. It has done really well legs-wise. It's done better than Suicide Squad, and it has passed the $300 million mark. Just remember, the Phantom Man said this movie would flop because of Robert Pattinson. At least one person said that no one would watch this because of Robert Pattinson. And this is the whole. I don't understand the whole hate towards Robert Pattinson. He was in 4 bad movies, okay, and that was early in his career, okay. The difference between him and Kristen Stewart is Kristen Stewart has not made any good movies, okay. So, Robert Pattinson was in The White House and Tenet. Both are very well received movies. And, we had the reason why Tenet didn't really do too well to defeat us was because there were people hesitancy, of course, because of COVID. And, of course, people refused to watch it because, of course, Robert Pattinson's in it, so we must not watch it because, Twilight bad. The Batman made $598 million worldwide. And it had on a $200 million budget. This movie has more than made back its money at the box office. And the Batman continues to do well despite what. And the Batman will continue doing well. So, yeah. I don't want to put like a comparison, blah, 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 like I did with other movies. But Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the movie, is doing pretty well at the box office. It's doing very much like Demon Slayer. It has done really well in, of course, Japan, which, these movies always do well in Japan, but again, even in the West, these movies are now making money, especially in America, and of course, Asia. These movies demonstrated really well in Asia as well, outside of Japan. It seems that more and more people are going to non-Hollywood movies. These movies will probably continue doing better over time, because of Hollywood's wokeness, okay? Like with Right Yell, okay? They're now putting woke scenes in Right Yell to appease Twitter, to appease, the Twitter mob that, won't watch the movies anyways. So I probably won't be watching Right Yell now because of Twitter. So, because, Twitter has to ruin every movie, okay? But yeah, Goosebumps, Total Kaisen, people want these types of movies. They're doing very well at the box office for a limited release. This movie released in 2000 theaters. Not as limited as, Demon Slayer, but it seems that these Funimation, these anime companies are going to be more and more inclined to get just a theatrical release and just to dump them on Steam. And I think they should just release these movies theatrically instead of just dumping them on Netflix and stuff. So next is Uncharted, which is having pretty good rigs. It should surpass Ghostbusters Afterlife. The Uncharted's big competition should be coming out next week. The Lost City. I don't think the Lost City will do as well. I think it was called like the Lost City or something. I don't think it will do as well as people think. But it is the first new big movie in a while, so I think it should have a bigger opening than people think it would. I don't think it's gonna outright lose money. But Uncharted didn't really do too well, compared to other movies. It did pretty well. It didn't make money. But for a movie like, Indiana Jones, and stuff like that, this movie made $347 million domestically and $125 million domestically. Next is X. It is a movie that really no one has ever heard of before, and no one is watching it, basically. It is doing basically the same as, the Last Duel and movies like that. So that's basically about X. Next is Dog, which again, this movie is doing really well at the box office. Okay, of course, it's no new movie, so people are going to be watching this. But this movie has done really well. Okay, especially for not being a part of a franchise, which is a very big achievement for this movie. It's not a part of a movie franchise, but it still managed to make money at the box office. So, Dog is another success at the box office. Spider-Man, yes, we're still Spider-Man's gonna pass 800 million now. Okay, because there's no movies basically coming out. No real competition. The Watch, it's gonna pass $800 million now worldwide. Okay, and it's pretty good for theater goers. I'm not a theater goer. I just, you know, first of all, the nearest theaters are like 30 minutes away. I'm not doing that. Okay, there's one. I know it's like a theater in like Fox Lake that's a place by me, but like that's still like 20 or 40 minutes away from here. Okay, you know, if I as well, and also there's Regal, which is 30 minutes away as well. You know, not really worth my time. I could just buy a movie on Amazon, just watch it on Blu, wait for it to come out on Blu-ray, and that's what I do. So I'm not one of those people who just what, I gotta subscribe to every streaming service and every available, and that's why I watch everything on streaming. No, I'm not that guy. Okay, movie that I actually want to see, I actually go buy. Okay, I actually own the movie. Okay, that's why I hate streaming services so much. Okay, next is Death on the Nile. This movie is not gonna make back its money. This movie has done. I don't think they have updated international sales though, but yeah, I don't think this movie is gonna make back its money. It needs to make $50 more million. And this movie has had pretty good wigs, but for a movie like this, it's not doing too well, which is a big flop for Disney. So, and I've been told that Death on the Nile is actually a part of a book series. So, Death on the Nile is actually a franchise film because it's a part of the Agatha Christie books, so which is basically its own franchise. So that means movie like Dog, which is not part of a franchise, being a big budget franchise film that's based off a book series as well. So the outfit again, this movie was delayed basically from February, and really nobody is watching it. So no one's watching the outfit and Sing 2. Yep, Sing 2 is still Sing 2 is still here. Okay, because Turning Red Turn Tail, so Sing 2 is still having pretty good legs at the box office. It's still, declining, like having an 8% drop at the box office. I think that Sing 2 will still open over 1 million next week and maybe the week afterward with Morbius. But I think, yeah, Sing 2's done in the theaters at the Sonic comes out. Basically, Sonic will be its big competition. Uma, yeah. This is like another one of the considered one of the worst movies of the year, so no one's gonna watch it. Yeah, this movie's gonna be a basically box office failure as well. So, and even had some big names behind it, and no one's gonna watch it because it's just a bad movie. And there you go about the new movies. Yeah, Cryano is a box office failure. Cryano is a box office failure. That's not too surprising whatsoever. Okay. Peter Dinklage did his box office failure. Okay. He was basically a one-hit wonder of Game of Thrones, and that was it. Everything he has been in, has been a box office failure since Game of Thrones. I think he was in Pixels. He was the sword guy. He was the sword guy in Pixels. But other than that, most of his movies he has been in was a box office failure. So, as well. So that's basically about this video. Goodbye.